Okay. Ambia tusaidie link, naona kama anataka kuenda. Myself.
The House of Rest. Welcome to Nisi Television. The House of Rest. Welcome to Nisi Television. The House of Rest.
The following program has been rated GE. It's therefore suitable for general viewing.
Asante sana. Thank you so much. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Those who are still sleeping in some nations, ukiamuka, immediately wake up, please. You shall be talking to you. This very beautiful morning, we are talking from Kenya, in Nairobi. TASWIRA, SIASA na ONGOZI, interacting with the politics of the world, politics of our country, and any other side of the country where we are looking at leadership and what leadership brings about in the society. My name is Paul Gregory again, and as we continue working together, please, how I would like you to keep on, interacting with your phones, with your gadgets, so that you can get us from your phone. That is in YouTube and Facebook. You can also interact with us in our main station, that is Nisi Television, Signet 809 there. Then you'll be able to reach us. Yes, this is TASWIRA ya SIASA na ONGOZI. We have been here and again talking about the politics of this country. And why are we talking about politics? It is because politics is about you, politics is about me, politics is about our nation. And above all, the peace of the nation, the stability of the nation. That is where we are going to discuss much more of this. With me in studio are very able men that are going to assist us to really discuss this, interact with issues that are affecting us. Remember, we have like 12 or so days to our general elections, and in that, for that matter, we need your attention. We need your, sobriety, so that we'll be able to work with you and with the entire nation. In the studio with me are good friends of ours who are going to assist us to work on this, to discuss much about the same in politics. I'll start by bringing in my co-host, that is Waweru, who will also tell us, just share with us what we have and what he has for us as a people. Karibu sana, Waweru.
Yep, okay. Thank you so much, Paul. And a very good morning to our viewers, wherever they are watching us from. My name is Isaac Waweru, like you've heard. And we want to welcome you to this show. We want to discuss a few things about politics. Remember, you are part of governance. That's why you've been given the sovereign power to elect your leaders. And that's why we're here to discuss, just to give an overview and a discussion on how we can handle this as we approach the, we have just a few days to the election, and maybe what we can discuss today can change your perception towards who you're supposed to elect, why you're supposed to elect them, and what they have to offer for the next 5 years. So let's get into it and get into the discussion. Back to you, Paul.
Very well. Today our topic is about the youths, and that is why Isaac is here. He's going to tell us why they don't want to vote, or why they are voting, or why they want to stay at home and not to vote. With us now in studio are our guests. We had a guest here some time back. I'll give him time to introduce himself. And then we have the second one. He'll also tell us your names. Just starting from you here with me.
Good morning, viewer. My name is Moses Machari Mwai. I'm vying for MCA, Member of County Assembly in Kaliako's 1 Ward. We are here to discuss about politics and to tell people to come out in large numbers so that they can vote. It's their right to vote. And when you are not voting, we think we are not going in a good election because we are going to get somebody who is not a good leader when you don't vote. Welcome, viewers.
Yes, thank you so much. That is done. I didn't want to say is a candidate. He wanted to come from himself so that atawambia nataka rather guy. We only have 15 days to the election, so it's high time for you to work on, giving us what you have. With me now, the other end is my friend Dan. Dan, tell us who you are.
Okay, thank you to all viewers. I hope you are doing fine, and we are also doing fine here in studio. My name is Daniel Ngaroya Jonjo, but they call me Dan Jonjo, so that the best name you can call me, so that I can hear you. I'm the one who is being called. Yes. Okay, here I'm standing like a youth in this country, and we want to talk more about youth, how we are being treated, how we are being misled by our readers, so that at least we can open up our mind and know the way forward, and why should we vote, and why are we not supposed to vote, and what is the purpose and reason of voting. Thank you. Back to you.
All right. Isaac, to you.
Yeah, so talking about now that you are an aspirant, maybe the big question with Kenyans right now is, do you think IBC is in a better position? Issues every day, there are issues coming up. The issue of the Venezuelans who are caught at the airport. The issue of yesterday I heard that ODM through the lawyer who is the lawyer of Raila Odinga said that there is an issue with Form 34. The form that is used to transmit the presidential, with all those issues combined, do you think ABC is better placed to give a credible and free and fair election in your position?
When we come to IBC right now, we think when we look at back 2017, what happened and what made the repeat of election, it's about what is going on right now. Because the IBC, they are not coming out clearly to tell us what is happening. We are only seeing it through papers. They could have called the media, and then they answered them through media, but not but not in a newspaper. Yeah. So we are not clear what is happening, and we are seeing those loopholes will bring us somewhere. It is coming to say that the election will not be free and fair. Yeah. So we are feeling about it, but we know by that time the time that we have, they can clear it in the air, and we know what is happening. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, IBC. The problem has been, there have been several complaints, Paul, about the issue of communication, that they should be able to communicate better about issues, yes. Not just through press release in the newspapers, but also call the media and explain some of these things, because they are very major concerns to most of the aspirants, because once you see such loopholes with 12 days to go, and it means it shows a lot of, reluctant in the IEBC, which has been given a very huge mandate to deliver a free, fair, and credible. Like, maybe I can get your take in the whole thing.
Okay, on my side, I can just stand with my point or my view and say that at the moment, the country is running with a lot of pressure, just waiting to see how the IBC will conduct this election, or how our readers will take about it. But what I know is that we have been having some independent bodies whereby are being interacted by our politician, so that maybe in some few days coming time, you find that some leaders will not accept the election.
Yeah.
So this is a way that they are trying to maybe to chip in, and they are trying to find all reason and reasonable doubt that why they will not accept this election outcome. So as far as I'm concerned, the DCI said that these guys, as they were coming, they never followed the rules and regulation which were supposed to be followed. Yeah. By the time these election materials are being came in this country. Yeah. And now the other side is telling us that DCI should not ask any question about them. Whereby now, when you come in as a person, you ask yourself a question: why you, as a candidate, are you going against the DCI work? Whereby this country needs a lot of security. We need to be sure what is coming in or what is going out, and that is the work of the DCI. Yes. So, on my view, this candidate should step aside and let us wait what the DCI will come up and give us the way forward and tell us, these guys, why were they coming, what were they bringing in, and in which way were they coming. So when we get those answers, at least now, the candidate can come out and say, now, I can defend this one and I can defend this one. But at the moment, I can say, or I can just ask them, let them stay aside, away, let the DCI work, let Kenyans get what they need, and the Kenyans get a full information about what is happening. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, very true. I think what you're saying is that the political side should stay out of this and allow the DCI and the IEBC to deal with their issue.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah. Because you cannot have DCI and the candidate at the same time, and they're discussing one thing, and each and everybody is independent. You see, so each and everybody in this country should be given time and peace to work.
Yeah. Paul, that is quite an issue there, and we are going to be discussing that. Remember, you can also take part of this discussion. You can communicate to us through all our social media platforms. You can talk to us on Facebook. That is Nisi Television. We are live, so you can, as you listen and as you can also take part the conversation, comment, and give us a view about the discussion of the day. Remember, IEBC, with the 12 days go to the election, they have a very huge task, and you can hear that they are. You see, even when you talk about the political side, you find that the DCI, Kinoti, and the Azimio la Umoja they're speaking the same language, right. And then the IEBC and the Kenya Kwanza, yes. Somehow their language is almost the same. So there's a lot of things that this side is supporting this side, and this side is supporting, which is quite dangerous, considering the fact that we are just a few days to the election.
Yeah. Well, it is a very dangerous. Ama tuingie kwa lugha ambayo itatupatia watazamaji wachache ambao watatupata kwa namna hii. Ni kitengo ama nafasi ambayo imesumbua sana watu wengi. Looking at the forms, the 34A and the 34B forms, these are the forms that brought problems in the last elections. And you can see if what we are to go at with what Raila is saying, that he's demanding answers on IBC, extra forms. The word is extra forms. That means maybe we have extra forms that are coming into the country. We don't know. Maybe, as Dan has said, we'll wait for to continue being calm so that our lives is inaingiliwa. But the issue of 34A and 34B forms, you know, remember these are the forms that zinatupeleka kabisa kupata the viongozi. I'll pose a question to Dan. Given that umekuwa katika ulingo huu na hapa na pale kupita njia hizi na zile, hii habari za forms kuingia na kutoingia, we are not sure. That is the work of the DCI to tell us nini kinaendelea. What do you think about the njia zinavyoingizwa ndani na kutolewa, ama tell us something about this, maybe your experience?
Okay, to my side, what I know, and maybe I can just say that katika nchi yetu ya Kenya kuna katiba. Na hii katiba kuna vitengo tofauti. Ukikuja mambo ya election, we have a body called IEBC, yes, whereby it is mandated that work to progress so that they can produce us free and fair election. Now, IEBC iko na mikakati yake. Yes. yenye wao wenyewe ndio wanatafuta mbinu yenye wataweza kufanya hii election so that inaweza kuwa credible na inaweza kuwa fair. So by the moment wamefanya kazi yao na kampuni fulani, Kenyans should be told, or we as a Kenyan have a right kuwa na julisho ya kwamba hii tender tulipea kampuni fulani, they are producing this and this, by this date itakuwa imefika. Kwa sababu kama ukiangalia hapo nyuma baadaye kidogo, tulikuwa tunagazetiwa, tunaambiwa hizi materials za presidential elections zinaingia siku fulani kutoka kampuni hii, inatengenezwa na kampuni hii, itaingia siku fulani, si ndio? So my question is at this moment, hawa tu kutoka Venezuela walikuja na materials za election. It was never gazetted. Nobody knows. Wala kwa airport wako wanajua, na kisheria wanafaa kujua kuna material fulani inaingia airport from IEBC, and then beside that they're supposed to have an IEBC officer mwenye anazipokea. Kwa sababu wezi niambia mimi nitaenda kupokea election material na siko kwa IEBC, kwa sababu nitazipeleka wapi, nitajuaje kuzihandle? So kwa maoni yangu ninaamini ama najua kwamba hapa kuna fishi ama kuna mchezo tunachezewa baina ya IEBC and the DCI. So kulingana na maoni yangu ni DCI watupatie ripoti kamili na wasituzungushe venye wamezoea kutuambia wanafanya uchunguzi, na uchunguzi wa Kenya haimalizikagi. Tuko na siku 12 kwenda election. Tunafaa kujua hizo makaratasi zilikuwa zimekuja na njia gani, ni za nani, na zilikuwa zinaenda wapi, na kwa nini hazikuwa zimefuata sheria na mkataba yenye inafaa kufuatwa na katika sheria za IEBC ama katika sheria za Kenya. So kwa maoni yangu ni bado kuna kitu imefichwa hapo yenye hatuelewi, na mpaka tuambiwe tutapiga tu kelele.
Now, do you think what Raila is saying now is right? It's high time kwa mwananchi kuangalia sasa. Do you think sasa tuende by what Raila is saying, that we need really answers? That is what you're saying. Tunahitaji majibu kutoka kwa IBC. So wananchi tuende na what Raila is saying, or what should we go by what the other team is saying? My point is, at the moment we have a government, right? And the same government has a president and a deputy president who are now not going in the same direction. On the same note, from some, quotas, and we have not confirmed that, maybe Kenyans will tell us, but we have seen an opposition also in, speaking from the same, it's like the opposition, the government, wote wako pamoja. Who is going to give the shade lights to Kenyans?
In short, we can tell Chebukati, ABC chairman,
yes,
to come clear.
Yes.
We are in that light now. He must come clear to Kenyans, so that until Kenyans we are going to get a credible election,
yes,
and fair election. I think in this seat, most seat, as how we are vying, we are not worried about it.
yes.
But we have a high fear for that, because we can see that how our economy right now is. When we hear that you are going to go for runoff, we fear.
Okay.
It is going to force us to use extra money for taxpayers,
Okay.
to use that money. So it's very clear, IBC to come clear, to announce to Kenyans and tell them what are we hearing in the papers,
Yes.
and what are we going to do so that it can be clear. It will not have anything after election to say that there was something happened about Venezuela. There is those from 34B, from 34A that came illegally. They are the one which was used. So it's good, IBC, to come clear. I think when they are going to address the Kenyans, it will be okay. And I think election will go on without fear.
Now, what do you think about IBC affirm that these guys are custodians, they are people. The government from the DCI wanasema we have done this and this is what we have found. IBC wanasema this is ours. Ruto on the other side anasema no, wachane na wale watu. Raila this side is saying hapana IBC. Where is mwananchi? Ningependa tuwe katika hicho kiatu cha mwananchi. What should mwananchi really do now?
Right now, yes. I think a lot of people are confused.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'm trying to tell you and to say, IBC should come clear. Don't lie to the people.
Yes.
Call the media and answer questions so that they can be able to, the Kenyans should hear from both the people. Let us not, even cannot, have not yet come clear to tell us what have he investigated.
Yes.
It's good sometimes you tell the Kenyan you come clear to the Kenyans so that they can hear from the horse's mouth.
Oh, yes.
And I think after that, the election will be free and fair, and nobody is going to think about the election.
Right. These people tunazungumza haya ili yaweze kukufikia, tutatue yale tutaweza kutatua, and then we should arrive at a solution within these remaining days. Hiyo ina maana kwamba everybody should be calm. That is what we are getting from our desks. We are going to pick a very short break, and after this we are going to jump into our day's topics, and that will be the youth. So wherever you are in the youth, my question to you and the parents, those who have the youth within your reach, ask them if they vote. The question is, do the youth vote? After this short break.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard of cases in the society of people murdering their spouses and their children? What about human beings throwing themselves off buildings? In our universities today, it's a den of crime. Students in drugs, students in habits like homosexuality, which also cuts across in our society today. What do you think? Is there anyone to blame? Do you think it's a major issue in our society? Welcome to the Deval Show, a show whereby we unmask matters happening in the society, matters which the society shies away from speaking about. And this is a place where we'll journey with you as an individual and largely in the society to find the healing of the soul and the empowerment of the spirit. My name is Kesh Susan, and I will be your host every Tuesday from 9:30 to 11:30 here at Nisi Television, where we transform life through media. Welcome to the Deval Show.
What is good health? How do we attain and maintain healthy living? We have answers concerning communicable, lifestyle, genetic and non-genetic diseases. Join me, Cecilia Mwariri, and our medical experts every Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for informative and educative conversations. This is the 911 show on Nisi Television, where we transform lives through media.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hello, everybody. It's a sound of praise and worship to whom created us to be. Join me, Joy Temba, every Sunday morning from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. live on Nisi Television for live Sunday service that is filled with the presence of God through worship, word, and encouragement.
If God be for me, we love you, Lord.
You will live for.
Now karibu tena, welcome back. This is TASWIRA, SIASA na uongozi ndani ya NISI Television. Tunapatikana katika mitandao yote ya kijamii ndani ya YouTube, that is NISI Television, Facebook NISI Television. Popote ulipo, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, time has come for us to discuss this. Wanasema kinaga ubaga, ndani kabisa tuweze kufika na kuangalia ni nani anafanya nini. We were talking about IBC and all that. I would like Isaac take us something through your papers, and just 2 minutes tuangalie the preview of the papers and ni nini inasema gazeti leo, natuambia nini yale yapi mwananchi anapaswa kuenda nayo kwa dakika 2 hivi 3.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. And just like we've been discussing, what is hitting the headlines is the issue of IEBC, the issue of what they are calling the Form 34A, and another that has been labeled as Form of 1 of 2, and another one has been labeled 2 of 2.
Yes.
So it has hit the headline because Azimio claims that they have a problem with that. And so we have discussed about that, and like we've said that the buck stops with IEBC. They got to get this right, and they have to communicate. They have to call the media, talk to the media, and make sure that people and Kenyans are updated on issues to do with the coming polls, because that is a very sensitive area we are headed to. And if they could handle it with the care that it deserves, I think we could have it. The flow will be good, and there will not be issues after the elections. Also, another thing that has been is in the front page is the issue of Wainaina, the KU VC, who was actually was he fired or did he resign? It's still a question that people are asking themselves. But there was an issue surrounding the saga when he was supposed to give out 410 acres of land.
Actually, Wainaina was sacked.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know whether we can get a view. I don't know whether you've been familiarizing yourself with that issue of Wainaina. And what can you say about the government and the court? Because this is the issue of now the judiciary, and the executive, because the president was against the fact that Wainaina could not be able to give out the 410 acres of land, of the KU land, Kenyatta University, which was supposed to go to different, they were allocated to different, the construction of the Kenyatta Referral Hospital, that was supposed to be given to as a resettlement scheme. But all that, the whole issue, because this guy, Wainaina, was strong enough and stood and said that the Kenyatta University has planned for every inch of their land and they are not supposed to give anything. He was actually forced to give the land, and now the court is coming in and saying that was wrong and it shouldn't have gone that way. This is now the issue of the executive and the judiciary. What's your take?
My take is that issue of KU. There are squatters who have been there for a long time. We should be talking about the land of KU. If they have something to do with it, let's first look at those squatters. Yes. And the squatters, they are not lying for 400 acres. Yeah. Wamekalia kitu 161 acres.
Yes, yeah, true.
So it's good to explain to us what is happening. Wainaina is hiding something. Because 161 acres, they are in squatter. Then we see they are calling about 191 acres. Yeah. After that, after he was removed to the
position of the VC
committee, he starts saying about 400 acres. We don't know who is saying the truth. It's light to party wale watu walikuwa wameisha. They were given there in 1992 by President Moi. Kibaki came and said he's going to serve them with the title. The 10 years of Kibaki, he didn't make it. But Hulu have come clear and said those quotas should be given their title. I don't know where those other acreage, where it's coming from. It's upon Wainaina and the new committee who is there and the government to come in about it, to talk about it. The people must talk about it on that those quotas who are inside that land. And when they do that, I think they will know there is not going to have any issue with the people, with the squatter who are in that area. Let them come clear. wasikuje kuchukua shamba ingine ya KU, wanasema wanapatia squatter. Let's rely the 161 acres which are lying to squatters.
Oh, very true. And I think your take is that the squatter should be settled and they should get their title deeds. And yeah, that's a good view. And also, you know, when Uhuru was commissioning the construction of something, he was giving this of health. He was giving them some land to construct something. Yes, so yes. I think there's supposed to be 161 acres for the resettlement scheme. Some is supposed to be given to the Kenyatta National and Referral Hospital. So they've divided it, and they all total up to 410 acres. But remember, KU sits on 10,000 acres of land. Yeah. So it's a massive size of land. So I don't know. Maybe you can also give us your take on the whole issue.
Okay, my take on that issue is about. We Kenyans, we all know that all land belongs to government, yes, including you as well. Yes. It's a government property. You have been given, like maybe you have raised it. That's why you are managing it. So to me, I take that issue like the KU also belong to government. The people belong to government. You get? Now because here there is what we call personal interest. And there is where the conflict comes. That's why the executive is saying, give this land to community, give this land to KU, and so forth. But where is the denial coming from that? It's because there is someone who has a personal interest. That's why they are bringing a lot of issues. Our parent, but at the end of the day, me and Kenyans, we belong to government. Yes. The land is from government. And if the executive has ordered this land to be given to some sector, I don't think kuna mtu anafaa kuja kukatana naye kwa sababu hiyo shamba haikutoa mtu mmoja, haikuwa inapewa mtu binafsi, ilikuwa inapeanwa kwa Wakenya. Na sisi wote ni wake. Lakini kwa sababu kulikuwa na personal interest yenye hatujui, labda sasa waende watuweke wazi, watuambie kuna mtu fulani alikuwa amesema isipeanwe ama nini, and that's why Uhuru came angry. Akasema haiwezekani tunasema shamba ipeanwe isaidie wananchi ama wa Kenya, yet wewe umeisimamia hautaki kufanya hivyo. Akauliza maswali akakosa jibu. That's why I'm saying Uhuru as alikuwa anaongea, he was speaking on behalf of Kenyans and on behalf of executive yenye inafaa kutoa orders. Now, orders from executive, you don't need to deny it. You're supposed to obey the orders first. Then, maybe kuna issue ingine tuongelee baadaye. Dan,
I don't know whether differ na wewe kwa sababu if a government of the day comes and do the wrong, I'm not saying the government is doing any wrong. Yeah. I'm just saying, just try to come to mali huko. If the government of the day comes na iseme, okay, yanzo kufanya wrong thing, right? Should we sit back and to say now the government has said we have to sell this land or leave this land and go? The government is, you know, do we bend low and to say the government has said, or should we raise up our hands and say no, we have a right here? I think this is right and that. Because I'm saying this because the government, the judiciary, it's the judiciary that has halted this in Ismamisha, right? Yeah. So should what do we do? Because now if the government comes now. Iseme, this is what is right when we know it is wrong for us. What do we do?
Okay, on my views is that we have been in Kenya.
Yes.
And we know what's happening. There is a fight between judiciary and the executive and parliament. We all know that. They don't agree.
Yes.
So it's now they want to prove I'm bigger than you. You get? The executive want to prove the judiciary that they are the bigger part of this country.
Okay.
And the judiciary now, they want to prove to them that they are the bigger body.
Yes.
You get? So, in my view, is kama kitu yenye inapeanwa kwa Kenya, tufaidike. Na judiciary imekuja imesema tusipewe. Na hapa kuna executive imesema ipeanwe. We don't need to go through all those rules because hata tukiandaga hizo makesi hakuna kesi ya Kenya ishaisha as far as I'm concerned. You get? So if there is anything inapeanwa kwa mwananchi asaidike, sioni haja yoyote ya kusema izuiwe ati koti juu imepeana contingent, I don't know what, I don't know this. to my point inafaa kama inasaidia wananchi direct, hakuna kwenda hizo maprocess za koti. Ipeanwe kama kuna process za koti zifanywe baadaye wakati mwananchi amesaidika, kwa sababu mwananchi tumekuwa tukiumia due to conflict of who is bigger than who is supposed to tell who. You get? So at my point is what Uhuru did, he did it right. Kwa sababu by the moment alifanya hivyo wananchi tunasaidia. Kwa sababu ukiangalia hiyo shamba watu wamekuwa wakipigana all through. Koti imekuwa ikisema hivi, inasema hivi, inasema hivi. Now president by the moment ametake his power, akasema wananchi wapewe titles, wananchi wapewe hiyo shamba. What's the problem there? You get? That's my view.
All right.
Yeah, and I think that's also, you got something?
Yes, I would add something. I think we have become selfish as some leaders, not only leaders, even those who are civil servants. We have become selfish. We don't have a respect to each other. And so why you can see we are going like that way. To lead a country is not like a tournament. We need to have a strong leader who can say something and force it and be done. Don't about to say that we are going to do this, we are going to court. Let body of judiciary come clear and do allow what is supposed to be there. Not every case we come there in the road. Wherever you go, there is no respect. It is starting up there. Because if you can fight a president, whom can we not fight against? We need to come home and to know who is the leader. And that's what we should tell we should show our youth. First of all, to learn who is the leader and what kind of a leader do you want. A leader is not that person who have a lot of money. A leader is a person who can bring people together and work together and show them the way.
Yeah, that's a good point to take home. That, a leader is not one with a lot of money, but one who can be able to bring people together, because togetherness is a very important thing to have. And I think the issue of Kenyatta University is quite a sensitive issue and should be handled. I don't know about the sacking of the VC, but I think the 400 acres, they are being used for the benefit of us as Kenyans. And having a whole university that sits on 10,000 acres and all the government wants it's 410, I think they can compromise, and agree, agree to disagree, but make sure that those people in Kamai are settled and they get their title deeds and they live as happy Kenyans just like everyone else. And also the issue of the World Health Organization, that is the point I was coming to, about the World Health Organization. It was given a space where it's supposed to construct a very huge, a project which is supposed to help Kenyans, even not just Kenyans, but even across Africa. So I think all these things, if they could be done, if they look good on paper, so if they could be done as they look, if everything could go as planned, I think this is a nice project. But I think what the court right now has stopped is the advertisement of another VC who is supposed to take over from Moinaina. So, but I don't know whether they've stopped the issue of the 410 acres. But I think if we could go with the 410 acres and the VC reinstated, I don't see any problem with that. I think it's a nice thing. So, and then I think we need to move forward from that issue.
Just to clear something there, because from where I see it, what the court has halted, has stopped, is the sacking.
Yeah, the sacking,
But the issue of land and the settlements, I think that thing is still...
that one maybe could be still on.
If you look about the sacking, that is a point of disrespect to your boss. So if you cannot do what your boss is saying, you should be sacked. And give somebody who is going to take the dialogue.
For that matter.
Yeah, for that.
But of course, the issue of sacking, according to the president and according to many people, they're saying that there is a body that is in place that is supposed to deal with the issue of who should be sacked, when and how. So now the court is against the procedure that was followed to sack. We live in a country and we live at an age where the judiciary is a bit higher than the president. So not every decision that the president says is the final decision. The court can just come in any time and just change the decision. But otherwise, if we were in the other constitution, that would have been final, and that would have been done there and then. But now, I think Kenyans have heard about that point, so we can move on to another issue. And now we can see that the race is now just 12 days to go, and the race now is they are now doing their final campaigns. And today's newspaper is saying that ODM, or Azimio la Umoja, Kenya, the one Kenyan, has organized 11 rallies to, and then Ruto has 21 rallies. So we can see that I don't know how Raila looks so strategic on how he's organizing his rallies, but then Ruto is doing so many rallies. What do you think about the strategy that we can say they are the top aspirants that they're using? I can start with you. The strategy.
When you can see somebody strategizing his rally, and others is not strategizing, you can see a leader, a country that who we want to run the country after that. And when it is 12 days to go. Yeah. And when you look for our census, they are about 22% are not yet decided. So what are we going to do to this 22%? Yeah. It's about going those rallies and convince them and show them the importance of voting. Yeah. It's better you go there, you vote as your own, who you want to vote. You don't let the leader to come in because you did not vote for your leader. It's good right now to look and to see how we are how our leaders are leading themselves. You see where they are going to take us. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Mr. Dan? Is it the issue? Is Ruto in panic? 21 rallies against 11. Is he in panic, or is just his way of doing politics?
Okay. On my side, I think that each and every person has his own mind to do his own things. Yeah. But here, it depends with Kenyans how they see things happening. For example, these people are all looking forward to win Nairobi County, because I think each and every one of them, when you look at Azimio, when you look at UDA, they say Kenya Kwanza, watu wanataka kumalizia rallies zao Nairobi. Yes, yes. But now it comes again a conflict of venues. Yes. You get? Yeah. Na hapo ndo nakuja naonaga wa Kenya sometimes, especially we youth, tunatumwaga vibaya. Na kuna vitu mingi naendeleaga yenye hatuelezewagi. As far as I'm concerned, mtu akijana wakati alienda kwa IEBC, kila mtu alikuwa one of the requirement was give us the venue, the date, and when are you supposed to take rally and where. Sasa swali yangu ni moja. Kama mimi pande ya Azimio, for example, nilienda nikasema tarehe fulani natumia Nyayo Stadium siku fulani, then why should you have conflict with Kenya Kwanza and they wanataka kutumia the same venue na walijaza kwa IEBC? Na kama sio hivyo, kwa IEBC kama Kenya Kwanza ilijaza ni Nyayo Stadium, Azimio nao wakajaza Nyayo Stadium, did they look the date? Did they look when, or the month, or the year? I mean, what is all this conflict coming from? Because would be kulingana na sheria za IEBC. Yes. Watu wote walikuwa platform, including MCAs. Yes. Ya kufanya road show na rallies. Yes. Na zote zimejazwa. I think kwa record ya IEBC inasema maybe UDA walijaza date fulani, siku fulani watakuwa na road show Kamukunji. Ama this county or this county. Yeah. So to me, I think hii watu wanafanya tu just confusing as Kenyans, because hatuna ile elimu ama ile ujanja ya kujua who is supposed to be who is when is supposed to be when. Yeah. No. Yeah. But to them they know. Yes. And that's why you see after all the conflict, wanakaa chini, they have coffee. Kenyans we tunabaki hapa to fight. Yes, we are fighting of nothing, we don't know what we are fighting. So me to my views is that wote wawili wanajua kitu yenye wanafanya, they just playing with our mind. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. I think Kenyans tumeendelea we should not like now look to the wave. And so we are lacking of civic education, so that we cannot know where we're heading.
Yeah.
This body is like parties. Parties like a company. And a company ruled by the boss and the CEO and whatever. So it's upon ourselves to sit down and watch these people to know where are we heading. Are we looking for a party? Because when you hear Kenya Kwanza, Azimio, we are looking for the party. Let's think about the leader that we are choosing.
Okay.
When we go to that way, there is no time we are going to get a light people who can lead us. Because we are looking the way where the wave is going. And it have come a time. Every time we go to election, we are looking the wave. And even we are looking the wave. It's like now to choose the leaders. And in your heart, and you know what do you want the leader to do for you.
Yes.
So let us not focus and look in the wave.
Okay.
Right now, people should know and understand which leader you want. And we are going to get a good.
All right. Now, on the same note, very same note, we want to now jump straight away to the day. Now, we have, okay, we have discussed all that. Tumeenda through kuangalia ni nani, anafanya nini wapi, IBC, all this in preparation for the for the election. Sorry.
And before we go to that,
yes,
I can maybe ask you guys, do you understand what is this called Form 34A, Form 34B? Do you have this knowledge? Because now these people are saying now this formal form for 34B or Form 34A, and Kenyans don't know what are we talking about. Because I remember, like I myself, I had Form 34B last election after the chaos.
Okay.
Bearing in mind, I was an agent.
Okay.
So my question is, are all Kenyans stranded like I, or are we going to the same platform?
Yeah.
To me, I don't know that 4B is what.
Okay.
That 4A is what. I have never found anything being explained about those forms. So that's why Kenyans, we are so confused, because these guys, the language they are using, Kenyans, we don't understand. And that's why I'm saying we are lacking civic education of why should we vote, or why, or if I may say, the materials.
Okay.
Because now these materials is coming in terms of, I don't know, from that this, from that this, from that 6. Now, they should explain to us first what is from 34A and what is from 34B. That's my view anyway.
Yeah. Oh yes. These are questions we need to ask ourselves na tujijibu. I think tukiendelea, we shall see if we can be able to get a copy of it, then we'll be displaying it for you to kuelewa ni gani. Otherwise, it's a form that actually inamalizia pale mwisho ya uchaguzi where the results are supposed to be announced. Now, as we look for that form, later we shall see we can tutapata that form, then we'll be able to tell you what 34 exactly is, 34 and 34A and 34B in line with the elections. Now, straight to my question of the day. I know my viewers are waiting to hear this, and I would like us to go deeper into this. I'll start by asking the incoming MCA, God willing, of Kariako, do you think the youths participate in voting?
Not really, not 100%.
Not 100%.
Not 100%. 60% they vote, but they usually have a high hope on the day.
Okay.
But when the day comes, you see as a leader, we violate them. We try to give them high hope and give a lot of money to them so that they can come to vote.
Oh, yes.
But when the morning comes, they are not able to go out and vote. So it's upon us leaders to know how we are going to handle our youth.
Yes. Mheshimiwa, there are only a few days to elections, and the concern has come 10 days to election. Let's say 10 because the 2 days are already out.
Yes.
We have eaten into the day already.
It is a high time that we are talking to them.
Yes.
And we are trying to tell them to come out in large number. And when you go to them, some of them didn't register themselves as voters. But why didn't they register them? They didn't because they don't have idea what will come.
Okay.
We have been in campaign for about 3 years from the time it started.
Okay.
So it's good to be before 1 year for election. We should the body of IBC, which is watching the election area, they should advise and give civic education to our youth so that they can be able. Not only the day comes a month, we say we are going to register in this month only, and we are going to vote. It should be advertised through medias in 2 years' time.
Yes.
So that they can get enough time to register.
Okay. Oh yeah. You have very few days to that. Anyway, let's come to, maybe go to Isaac. This young person, you belong to this school of young people who, I don't know whether they vote or not. Do you think the youths participating in the exercise?
Yeah, actually, my question would be, or my point would be, why do the youths? I'm looking at a people that is very tired. I'm looking at a youth that is very frustrated. Promises after promises, and nothing is coming to pass. You know, they're looking from the 2013. You know, everyone was promised jobs. You know, that employment will be created, but you see that it is a slogan that these people have mastered. These politicians have mastered that once we get into power, we are going to do this and this, and we are going to create jobs opportunity. We are going to make sure that you know, you get jobs, or we create a conducive environment, even when it comes to starting a business or something of the sort. Yes. But over and over again, that same thing is repeated and nothing happens. So I think that as much is what is contributing, and maybe our panelists here will tell us whether that is the core reason why most of the youth feel like, I don't need to wake up and go and vote. Why are you telling me to go and vote? And at the end of the day, the cycle will repeat itself. I think that is where the main issue is. And once our leaders are able to address that issue, when they are able to keep to their promises, you know, you don't have to overdo your promises, promising heavens to Kenyans. You can just promise people realistical things. And once they see that there is a trend of keeping your promises, then there will be no problem with people voting. They will be voluntarily go and vote. Or what do you think, Mr. Dan?
On my view about youth voting, maybe I can say I like maybe 70% vote, but they don't know why they are voting.
Okay.
You get my point?
Yeah. They don't know why
they don't know why they are voting. Because in Kenya, youth have been taken for granted. You go through the whole system of academic.
Yes.
Then after you finish, you are going to look for a job.
Yes.
The person you are finding there as a manager is asking you money.
Oh yeah.
For you to get that job.
Oh yeah.
Now,
too bad.
After you give money, it will proceed to what I can call, I don't know, it is stupidity of government or the private companies, just telling you, we need a person with an experience of 5 years to get this job. My question is, why will I get the experience without working?
No. Oh, yeah.
So at that moment, you get the youth are frustrated. So they ask themselves, why should we vote? Why are we voting? And whom are we going to vote? Because at the other hand, you find there are now maybe many youth who have come up as an aspirant due to lack of capital or money. Because Kenyan's election is all about money. If you don't have money, don't look for your seat. So that's my view about youth, but youth vote 70%, but out of 70%, maybe 50% don't know why they vote, and that's why we end up getting the bad leadership.
Talking about the issue that Kenyan politics is about money, should we change that perspective or that perception of that every time you want to get that seat, whether it's the MCA seat, the MP seat, the women rep and the governor, and all the other seats, should we change that perspective that you need to have money for you to be elected as a leader? Because the moment you're telling me that I need to have if I want to be an MP, I need to have my 500 million to organize my campaigns, to give people some money here and there, to do a few things to make sure that these people can now listen to me. Because when you go to talk to a crowd and you have nothing to offer, they will not listen to you. They will not bother. You know, when I'm elected, it now becomes my duty to first of all say, hey, I used this amount of money, so I have to recover this first before I start listening to you. So you can make all the noise, but you used my money before I got into power. So now I have to, you know, this is, you know, give and take. So I have to now get my money back before I start doing the development project. So what do you think about that? Should we now change the perspective of our politics?
I think before you change the narrative or the perspective, there must be somebody who have come on you and maybe to educate you more about it. Because as per now, I think IBC has money for civic education and why should people vote. But as far as I'm concerned, the time that I've stayed in Nairobi, maybe if I may say so, I've never seen any gazette which has been gazetted that there is a civic education on how to vote. I have never. And maybe if you have seen, maybe I stand to be corrected, but to me I've never seen that. So, issue about money, you must include money and okay, hatujafika ile kiwango ya kusimama na kuchagua mtu kama ana pesa. Sababu wenye nitasema hivyo ni moja. Kenya kama saizi ndio uende kufanya mkutano yako, you have to pay some few guys to attend so that they can like crowding nyingine. So the system ya kuongea the PA sound you have to pay, which is very expensive in Kenya actually. I don't know if you know the price of one track, and you know naga ikizunguka hivi. It's about 8,000
per day.
Per day. You get that track cannot be alone. Lazima kuna watu utaweka hapo. You have to pay them. You get. So if you don't have money, how will you do it? Simple. And how will the people get you? You see, like now, for example, I was asking my question yesterday as I was going home. These people are promising us heaven, telling us unga itashuka bei, telling us watatengeneza barabara, telling us they will give us bursary. My question came, nikaona, unakuta somebody ameweka billboard, the whole constituency, kila mahali kuna billboard yake. Bearing in mind that billboard is not cheap.
Yeah, it's paid for.
Unaona? Na hiyo billboard, angechukua hizo pesa akuje afungulie mama mboga vibanda hapo na nini, amewasotia mashida yao, kwa sababu by the moment ameweka kibanda hapo atakuwa anauza mboga yake throughout maisha yake mpaka apate pesa achange life yake. Na hiyo mama mboga atajua hii kibanda niliweka na mtu fulani. Instead of wasting money hanging money huko kwa billboard. Another thing, nani ajui Raila hii Kenya? Nani ajui Ruto? Do they need to put the billboards kwa barabara ati they wanasimama president sure? Can that money be diverted washukishe unga saa hizi before atuambie wakiingia watashukisha hizo pesa watumie saa hizi washukishe unga? We know them. And paka watoto wadogo wanajua kuna Raila na kuna Ruto na wanasimama president. So they don't need to waste that money, and that's why I'm saying Kenya's election is so expensive. And I think maybe on their perspective, they think when they use those billboards and those material things, they will be elected. But to me, I think we need to change that narrative.
Oh, yes. So the youths, back to you, Mheshimiwa. You are the one. You are the one making big.
Talking about youth.
Yes.
There is something that we have like now. We don't want to be tired. We have become the youth have become selfish. It is good right now to know, even those promises that you are getting, it is not sure that you are going to get that job. We have accumulated in numbers, and the job which is there in the government, we cannot fit there. It is time to know that what you are doing right now, even if you have started a small business, know that the leader that you want to elect can bring a good environment that area so that you can work and earn without thinking there is somebody will come outside there. After 9th, next month, who is going to give you money? You are going back where you are working.
Yes, yeah, true.
If you are a student, you are going back to live. you can see our youths when they come to choose what they want to lead for. Most of them, they are looking where they can get money, but not where they can help and get the daily bread. Procurement is the key. Even if you hear a student is somewhere educating himself, they say, what procurement? You have been watching our leaders. We have been watching those procurement body. When you get job there, even you supply them nothing, you get money. When you have been taken to court, the judiciary are not acting accordingly. So it's good to educate our youth. What we are doing, do it knowing that it's somewhere you are going, that work you are doing is the one you are going to afford it. Think how you are going to grow it. Don't think only that I'm going to be given kibada ya mama mboga. Then, after finishing the goods that you have been given, where are you going to? It's good to work in the line of your duty that it's going to benefit you. So I would urge youth, don't look for the handout. Look for the leader and do whatever you're doing, knowing that it's going to keep you and sustain you at the end. Don't see your brothers have a vehicle, then you need to have that vehicle immediately. It will be a process. And it's good to kuwe na uvumilivu. Na tufanye kazi in stages. To get where your another people level is, it is a process.
Yes.
That's what I can tell you.
Yeah.
So
actually, also talking about the issue of integrity, and Matiang'i and the team said that in the next August House we are going to have a lot of issues with integrity, because most of the people who are in this campaign period, most of them have been questioned or have been involved with the issue of money laundering. You know, the issue, and it's so when Matiang'i was speaking, he was saying that it is quite dangerous, because they are now going to be the one who are going to be our lawmakers in the August House, in the next National Assembly. But most of them have questions. They have been questioned on issues to do with money laundering and all those things. So I think that now contributes to the point that I was saying about that, because now you've done your money laundering, you've done this and this, you have accumulated a lot of wealth. You can now go out to the people. You are not a leader by heart, you're not a leader by anything, but just because you have the money, you can now go out and dish out the cash. You can be able to put up the billboards. You can be able to, use those trucks to campaign and make noise all over and get the votes. So that now again comes to the question of how as the civic education that we've been talking about, it needs to be done, whether it's over the years, whether it's as time goes by, because we need to teach, I guess, our people to learn that it's not just money, that when you get the 500, now you vote for a leader who is going to torture you for the next 5 years, who is going to actually, you got 500, but they are going to steal more than $1 million that belongs to you for the 5 years. So I think that also needs to be made public, and do the civic education that Kenyans, we need to understand that it's not just about the money. You can be able to point out that good leader, whether they have the money or not. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the question has been why, or rather, do the youths vote? Now, why should they vote? Why should a youth vote? Why should a young man in Kenya vote? I want to come to Dan, because I think Dan has this deep in him, that why should the youth vote? Now that we have discovered, for your information, the number of youths who speak about voting this time around are very few. The statistics that we have now shows the number has dropped from 2018 to date. The number has dropped, and the reasons given by the youths are, numerous. There are many. Why they should vote? We have discussed this, and we have find out that there are promises that the youths are getting from politicians. Mwai is here. I don't know how many promises you have given to the youths. You'll tell us. The expectations from the youths. Yeah, what they are going to benefit from. Short term, because when we think about the long term, we are going to talk about Kenyatta has become very, fruitful now. When his time is coming to an end, when are we going to start working, immediately get into the office and, give the youths? I'll give you a simple history where a youth in me went to a campaign somewhere. Somebody wanted to be a governor, and this governor, I'll mention him some other time. When we were doing the campaign, because I'm a media person, then I was promised, we're going to give you the office of the communications, director in the county, That guy is a very big person, and I started buying suits and, exchanging, borrowing money here and there. And I was practicing, driving, na kuweka mkono hapa kando. Communications director wa county, ni mtu mkubwa sana. And then I was there, and from my biashara kidogo na hapa na pale, I managed to get 1,000 shillings to contribute to Mr. Khaemba's, campaign. I'm telling you, when he went into office, the first thing was the list of the people anaangalia. He was looking, actually, literally alikuwa anaangalia names. Na kusema these names and these ones zitakuja baadaye. Politicians, why you're here, you'll tell us this. So this came, and it has happened to me as a youth then. Those are 10 years ago. Now, what will not make a youth not to vote? Do you think I can tell my children to go and line up voting when I know a politician will lie to me on face, right? So these lies zimekuwa ni nyingi sana, right? So why should the youth vote? Why? How are you going to convince a youth to vote?
Okay, I will begin by saying this. It is very important for youth to involve themselves in voting.
Yes.
And the reason I'm saying this is, if you look at our country, 70% population is youth.
Yes.
That means if we are 70% and we don't have a representative, whatever we claim we are not getting, we will continue not getting it. And each and every share, it comes from the government. As I begin, I told you everything belongs to the government. So, if we don't have any representative there, then who will hear us? Secondly, kwa maoni yangu, niko na urge all youth, tujitokeze, we vote, and we vote the leaders. Kuna mahali youth tunaweza peleka inji, tutakomboa inji kutokana na ukabila. Yenye tuliakwa na our former leaders, and maybe our parents. Because me, what I know is like, kama mimi nikikua, nilikuwa na job Mjaluo, si mzuri. Na nikaambiwa, siwezi oa Mjaluo. Hiyo ukabila, naye Mjaluo akaambiwa Mkikuyu ni mwizi. You get? Naye huyu Mkikuyu naye akasema Mkamba ni mrogi. Okay, and these things are there. Not that I'm just guessing it. So, in our generation, youth, the way we are coming up, like now my child hajui kuongea Kikuyu. So, anainterrupt na Mjaluo, na Mkamba, na ule mwingine. So, as they are coming up, wanakuja wakimaliza ukabila. That's so that we can, tuondoe hii conflict, Central will not vote for this person because we don't have a representative from Central. Everybody is a Kenyan. And everybody has a right to sit in a position. So, if youth were not coming out in large number, tutoe hawa viongozi, wametuweka hizi mentality, then we take a young mind, wenye wanajua ukabila ni hasara kwa nchi yetu, na ni hasara kwetu. Tukiwatoa, now tutakuwa na fresh mind, whereby they think about future, and not about tribalism. That's why me I encourage youth, come up in large number, vote, but before you vote, know whom are you voting to. You get? That's my views.
Yes. Yeah, it's important to to note that the country we are living in, is a country that is made up of a very big number of the youths. A very big number of the youths. And as we speak today, the number of the youths who are supposed to vote in their leaders, most of them don't want to vote. He has told us we are supposed to work on them coming out in big numbers to vote. How they are supposed to do that? That is, you've not answered me. How they are supposed to, why should they vote? That reason. Mheshimiwa, you have been looking for this position for some time.
Let me come to your question.
Yes.
You said, how can you confuse a youth to go and vote?
Yes. Confused?
You asked that question.
Okay.
How can you confuse your kid to go and vote?
Yes.
Now, it's very clear. It is his or her constitutional right to vote.
Convincing, yeah, actually.
And when she or he don't vote, they are going to get a bad leader. And they are not going to get their light. That's why we urge youth to vote. Not to vote so that they can benefit themselves. Even the country can benefit when it gets a good leader. When we are passing in the roads here, we say, who have done this, Kibaki done this. It was not done outside your area.
Yes.
That's why you vote, so that you can get good service for the area that you are staying, or in Kenya you get a good school, and we are happy when we are in good environment.
Yes.
It's good to urge youth their constitutional right to vote. So let's not say that we were lied last time that we are going to give them this. Let's work hard so that we can get what we need. Not wait and to be given.
Okay.
It's good to go and vote.
It is good to go and vote. I want to acknowledge those who are following us. Irene, Fidelis Mburu from Githurai, karibu sana. You're following us. Steve King, karibu. I'll bring up your questions. Kathy Neema, I'm tuned in. I'm Hesh all the way. And this time we promise, you promised the youth something. I don't know what you're saying, but it's like you promised the youth something. And I want to engineer that Kathy, if he promised, let him do it. And then Prince Gitau also watching. We are going for another break. And when we come back, we shall be in a position to go deeper and deeper. Yeah, just before we go, kumbuka kwamba we have Mwai in the house. He is vying for Kariakoo Ward. And then we have one person, Dan Njonjo, the relationship with Charles Njonjo, hajatuambia, but he's in the house with us. We shall be back and hear much from them. You can send your questions to us. You can send your, comments. Tell us what you think, and the question still goes to you. Why should the youth vote, and do they actually vote after this short break?
What is good health? How do we attain and maintain healthy living? We have answers concerning communicable, lifestyle, genetic and non-genetic diseases. Join me, Cecilia Mwariri, and our medical experts every Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for informative and educative conversations. This is the 911 show on Nisi Television, where we transform lives through media.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hello, everybody. It's a sound of praise and worship
Jehovah,
to whom created us. Join me, Joy Temba, every Sunday morning from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. live on Nisi Television for live Sunday service that is filled with the presence of God through worship, word, and encouragement.
if you gotta be for me, we love you, Lord. You will live for.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard of cases in the society of people murdering their spouses and their children? What about human beings drink themselves of buildings. In our universities today, it's a den of crime. Students in drugs, students in habits like homosexuality, which also cuts across in our society today. What do you think? Is there anyone to blame? Do you think it's a major issue in our society? Welcome to the Divulge Show, a show whereby we unmask matters happening in the society, matters which the society shies away from speaking about. And this is a place where we journey with you as an individual and largely in the society to find the healing of the soul and the empowerment of the spirit. My name is Kesh Susan, and I will be your host every Tuesday from 9:30 to 11:30 here at Nisi Television, where we transform life through media. Welcome to the Divulge Show.
Karibu back, karibu tena, karibu wherever you are. Yeah, we have been discussing this issue about the youth. Now, straight away to the Mheshimiwa, a point of why should youth vote and your area where you belong, because we have we are remained with kama dakika 15 hivi. In like 4 or so minutes, tell us what you've done to your youth and what your youths are expecting from you to lift up the Kariakoo world. I know this one is a bit tough. Karibu.
Asante. It's good. There is a lot of expectation to the youth in Kariakoo. First of all, it's change. We have been 10 years with a member of County Assembly. And we have seen she have done nothing to people of youth of Kariakoo. Right now, in their expectation, I'm trying to convince them that the leadership I have, I'm going to get. We are going to come together. Not what I'm going to do for them, what they want me to do for them. I cannot promise them right now that I'm going to give them jobs. We cannot fit all of youth in county. But we have opportunities. You have your job that the work that you are doing. It's different. But we can empower them and be able to get there, to get a lot than what they get. How are we going to empower them? They group themselves in groups. We have one entity that we are going to give cash, not for the free. When you get that cash, you are going to return, so that you can have to stock the work that you are doing. The next thing, a lot. I mean, you are in an area where your Kali sector is. A lot of people come from Lulo home. When you go to your Lulo home, you get a neighbor doesn't have anything that he's doing. You come with him so that you can try to show them when you can work together. And he come and get an experience, but he doesn't have papers. I'm going to direct them how they are going to get paper so that they can go out and look for jobs in industries. Next thing, I'm promising them how is important to work hard. When I get a position, I need somebody who is there, not my people. I'm going to call them and tell me who or which way are we going to use to get this position. If it's this position, I have about 3,000 youth. Are you going to call all of the youth? You give them, and tomorrow, the one you have given him, he's not working, he get the first salary. It's upon the youth to group themselves so that they can be educated to work in government. And that's what I'm trying to tell them.
Okay, maybe before we go to Mr. Dan, on the same issue, you said you're running on an independent ticket. And what can you tell Kenyans and your area, your ward at large, that when these big parties are talking about 6Ps, what can you say about that? That it's all about good leadership and not just the 6Ps as everyone has been talking about.
I'm vying for an independent candidate, and I should tell my people, and I'm urging them to vote for independent candidate. We have seen those people have been independent.
Yeah.
Don't be cheated that independent candidate is not going to get money. If each and every one is getting 15%, and I'm going to be given because it's in our constitutional right to get that money. Yeah. We can see by example by Thika MP, Wainana Jang, he have done marvelous. So I'm promising my people, don't be pushed by companies. I call these parties companies. I was in one of it. I was in Jubilee, and when I went to Jubilee, they saw that they are not going to give people their right to nominate the right candidate that they need. So they pointed the candidates who they want. I want Kariakozwani people to show them that they need a leader. They don't need only aspirants. They need a leader. I'm there for them. I'm ready to work for them, and I'm going to show them how we work. So I'm urging them to vote for me, and I'll be happy when we are going to get to lead them. Thank you.
All right, that is Mheshimiwa. Karibu sana.
Okay. As we're finishing, I don't know if I'll go against the point, but at least I have Kenyans matter.
Please do.
And just try to prove to them all about politics. All these leaders, it's all about personal interest, and we deal with one cycle. For example, we go back to 2007, whereby we had Raila as Prime Minister and Kibaki as the President. We had Ruto was given CS of Agriculture through Raila system. Uhuru was the Deputy Prime Minister to Raila. They worked together, and they were telling Kenyans that we are the people who can work well, rather than President Kibaki.
Yes, yes.
You get? Now it come to 2013, whereby this guy called Ruto and Uhuru, they had one common interest of being a president. They tell us, now this Raila, which were telling us he is the best, now they told us, now Raila is a witch. And he cannot perform.
Yes, yes.
Okay. They came with a different opinion, whereby Raila ran for president and Uhuru ran for president, so they had a fighting battle. Okay. And remember back, they were one team. It come 2013 to 2017. This team called Uhuru and Ruto, they emerged to be the winner. So they keep us telling us, now this guy called Raila is not a good person. It comes the year 2017, we had another election, whereby they were still together. And then after that, now Uhuru had a different opinion, and it differs with Ruto. Now the same guy who was telling us Raila is not good is telling us today Raila is an angel. You get? Last time Raila was an witch. Today Raila is an angel. And now the same person called Ruto is telling us Raila is not good. And the same person ndio alikuwa anatuambia Raila ndio mzuri. So if you follow up that, you get it as a cycle. No, it's from this person to this person, this person. It only differs when somebody has a common interest and their opinion are differing. That's why they come in public telling us, try to prove this person is not good, this person is not good. I can urge these readers, don't tell us this person is not bad. Tell us what you can do to us. What are you doing? And where are you taking us? But don't talk more about the other opponent is bad. And we have you in record telling us the same person is good.
Yes.
How will we believe you? So that's a proof to Kenyans that these people are just playing with our mind. They don't know where they are taking us. And if possible, God willing, don't go to vote ati unatoa mtu mwenye ako kwa kiti na haujui unaweka nani. Because Kenyans, we do go voting, tunaenda kutoa ule ako kwa kiti, whereby you don't know umemtoa umeweka nani. That's why we are ending up each and every election tunalia na sisi ndio tuko na powers ya kutoa watu na kuweka good leaders. Another thing, as I finish, Kenyans should learn. Ukiweka mtu kwa kiti, usimtoe kesho ati juu hajatengeneza barabara, hajafanya hiyo, hajafanya. Remember, once you go to somewhere, you are like mono, so you know. Na umekuta vigogo wameishi hapo, so they know how to maneuver. Wewe ndio unaonyesha. Wewe niambia, for example, mtu anajua come all the way from here, will it be the same with a person who is asking niingie wapi? Obvious, mwenye anakujaga atafika mbele ya mwenye anaulizia. Anaulizia doesn't mean ati mwenye anaulizia ati hana speed. It's only that hajui the way. You get? But the moment atapata the way, this will progress. So Kenyans, learn how to choose the leaders. Choose the best leaders. Let each and every person tell us what atatufanyia, but not ule mwingine ni mbaya. Because at the end of the day, next election, you will wonder, after whoever will take this seat, they will do a handshake again. What will we do? And we were fighting. Being told this guy is not good. He is not good. And now they have become together. As like of Uhuru and Raila, what they did in 2018. So Kenyans, open up your mind, take these leaders, vet them, so that you can take a go ahead. Thank you.
Right. There are no permanent enmity. There is no permanent enmity in politics. That is what I'm getting from him. And before we wind up, I want to invite Isaac to give us his parting shot. Then, all like that, as we finish. Isaac?
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think our viewers have heard for themselves. You've heard that the issue of politics is you look at the manifesto, you look at what someone is going to do to you, what is going to do, whether they represent your interest, whether you feel like you're represented by a particular candidate, whether it's in the top seat or to even going down to the other seat. So it's not about, like Dan has said very well, that there are no permanent enemies in politics. People keep interchanging depending with the interest. Nobody thought that Mudavadi would join Ruto and they would work together. Nobody thought that Raila could work with Uhuru. You know, and Martha Karua could work with Raila. You know, it's a cycle that people, according to where you feel that your interests are represented, that is where you go. And of course, these people, even after they are looking for a job, just like everyone else. They are looking for a job, and once they get their job, you know, in the 9th of August, you might not see them for the next 5 years. So there's no need to fight. There's no need to engage in quarrels, in who is supposed to be. You have your neighbor there, and even after the 9th of August, that will continue being your neighbor, whoever gets the seat or whoever doesn't. So keep peace, maintain peace, and make sure that you keep praying for the country, of course. And when the time comes, go out and vote. Talking for the youth, we're urging them to go out and vote for the right leader, and make sure that
who we need. We can say we know everybody, and we know the characters, but let him get power so that we can see whether he's going to deliver. Then, by choosing, let's choose wisely so that you can choose a good leader. So I urge all people to come out in large number. All country, they vote for the leader that they want. For my ward, I'm promising you, I'll be there for you, and vote for Moi Moses. I appreciate.
Right.
Okay, once more, I just say thank you to each and every viewers who have been viewing us. I hope you have get best of us, and if we have mentioned something which has hurted maybe you or you didn't expect, we say sorry, because we are a human as you are, and a human is to err. Secondly, I will urge readers, when you get this position, when you are elected, kindly make sure that you employ more youth in your office so that you can nurture this youth, because youth has potential to take this country far and to change this country political wisely, and in that way you'll make a good Kenyan. Once more, I greet all my friends out there. I say thank you for watching us. Till next time, bye-bye. My name is Daniel Jonjo.
Right, that has been Daniel Jonjo. We've been having Mwai Mheshimiwa vying for Kariako seat. That is the ward of Kariako. With me, I had also Waweru, who has been with us discussing this. I would like to thank those who have been following us on our social media. Continue doing so. The same debate, the same topics will be aired again, maybe in the night, tonight at around 9. So if you're in a position, you can still follow us and share your views. Still, you can send your views. We shall answer all your questions. We shall consider, all that you want us to talk about. We also invite you every Thursday to listen, to watch, and above all, come visit us and discuss with us this matter. Kumbuka, we are left with a few days to our general elections. And it is in the general elections that we get the leaders that we want, the leaders that the country really yearns for. So they are leaders that we need. They are leaders that you know very well they cannot fit in the offices. So you have the mandate, you have the will, and you have the power to decide who the leader can be. As we wind up, we also invite you to follow us in our remaining programs in the day. Follow us the remaining programs, and we shall be very glad to have you. Till we meet on Thursday, again, we thank you and we welcome you again and again. As I wind up, let me invite Isaac to roll up as we go away.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. And that has been what we had for you today in the SIASA na ONGOZI. And thank you for following through. You can see so many of you have been following through. And I think we have addressed much of what you needed to hear. And maybe we didn't get to discuss everything that you wanted to hear. But we are here next time, next Thursday. We're going to be right here, same time, the same place, Nisi Television. So follow us for the updates. And also keep following us for the rest of our program of the day. And that's where we stop our program. It is exactly 9 a.m. So thank you so much for following through. So have yourself a good day.
Welcome to Nisi Television, the house of rest.